just joined me on YouTube, this is the tutorial for the Boho Festival jacket. You'll need to follow the link below to find the size for your choice for the pattern. And once you've done that, you'll come back to here with your 3 pieces in the size of your choice. And this is to show you how to construct the piece, to add the sleeves and to add the hood and all the edging. So once you've got the sizes that you would like, we'll start from here. So you'll have 3 pieces. So this is your left lapel, your right lapel and your back centre piece. What I would be telling you to do in the pattern is to put them onto the back piece, front face facing front face. But just for this tutorial I'll show you with them open so you can see what I'm doing here. Then what we do is we'll count up our rows. You'll get the stitch count in your particular size on the pattern. For this is 2 to 3 years, so I've counted up 32 rows and I've added my stitch marker. And what I'll do then is I'll whip stitch up the side here and the same for the other side, and we'll close those together, and then we will sew the shoulder seams up here, and that will create our armholes, and we'll start on the sleeves. So what I'm going to do now is just sew those pieces together so you can see, and we'll come back to the next part and do our sleeves. So if anyone's got any questions, you can contact me on my Peanut and Plum, www.peanutandplum.co.uk, also on Etsy or here on YouTube, Facebook. If you need any help with the pattern, I'm always around to give you some advice. But hopefully through this tutorial you should see how the pattern sort of comes together and how you can finish your piece. Okay, so once you've sewn your sides together, you should have a piece like this. It's all nice and secure at the bottom, and then you start to see the beginning of your armholes on either side here. Okay, so for the 2 to 3 years I counted up 32 rows and I joined all the way up and left 12 rows unworked here, and the same for the other side. Then what you do is you flip your piece together, just one side at a time. You'll flip that together and then you'll count in from the side here however many stitches it is for your desired piece. So this is a 2 to 3 years, so I'm going to count in 7 stitches. So I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'll place my stitch marker there. And you'll join that together. So you'll sew this together just at the top along the top row there from the corner. So you'll leave this armhole here, and this will be unworked here. So this will be your front opening there. So just your 7 stitches, and do the same for the other side. Okay, so once you've sewn your shoulder seams like this, you should have a piece that looks a little bit like this. Okay, so it's all secure all up the side. You've got your seams here, your shoulders are sewn, and you've got your armholes here. Okay, so they just look a bit like that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to sew the sleeves, and what we'll do is we'll attach the yarn here at the bottom here, and we'll sew all the way around, and we'll join, and then we'll continue our rows all the way around. We'll do some decreases so we can get a nice sleeve shape. We'll continue to the bottom, and we'll do the same for the other side, and then we can start working on the hood. So it's starting to come together nicely. Looks a bit like a bodysuit at the moment. Remember not to turn it right way out at this stage because we don't want any seams showing on the right side when we've completed the piece. So keep the seam right side out at the moment while you're doing your sleeves, and then once we finish the sleeves we can turn everything right way out and you won't see any of those seams there. Okay. Once you've made your sleeve, here's mine here, made 2, obviously, you need 2. I've done my ribbon and my edging around the sleeves there. Hope you found my tutorials on how to do your front and back half double crochet posts. So that's all been done. We're going to start on the hood now, and the hood's really quite easy, but I do get a lot of people asking me how to start it off, and what you do when you get to the seams. So I'm just going to show you now. So you're joining this corner here, or you can join on the other side. We're just going back to front, so it's not going to make any difference at all. So slip stitch into there. Sorry, I apologise for the outside noise. And we're going to half double crochet into the first stitch, and we will half double crochet all the way along this top row here. So we'll go all the way along. When you get to here, we're going to stitch those 2 stitches at the same time, so we'll go through both. So there's one here, you can see where there's like a V shape where the seam is. We're going to stitch that together, so we're going to cinch that, go all the way across, do the same here, those 2 stitches together all the way across, and then we'll chain 1, turn, and we're going to keep going back and forth until we've got our desired height. Okay, so it's really quite simple. So join in the corner in the first stitch, half double crochet all the way along, so you'll sort of get a flat higher piece, and then I'll show you what to do at the end, but you should see sort of how this constructs together. You'll just sew it together at the end and turn it inside out, and you'll have a hood. So we're almost complete with our jacket. It's really quite easy. I mean, if you've never made a pattern yourself or are looking into doing things like that, to start off with these basic shapes for the front, for the left and right lapel, and then the back piece, you can sort of make up your own design from there, really. So I'll just go ahead and do this for you, and then I'll help you with the stitching of the hood together at the end. Okay, so we've done our hood now, so you should have a long piece like this, just a long flat piece that comes off the neck of your jacket there. Remember, still at this stage, we've still got everything turned in wrong side out, so my seams are still showing on the sides there, and I haven't turned my sleeves inside out. So the easiest way to do this, so you don't get the hood back to front and the seam on the wrong side, is if you've got your piece there and you put your sleeves behind your piece, still inside out, don't turn them in the right way or anything, and then fold your hood piece inwards, and then we're going to sew along the top there. Then when we turn it in the right way, like that, we can then pull our sleeves out and everything will be the right way around. So a lot of people have asked me what I mean by whip stitch. So I'm quite used to sewing as well, so I know what those are, but it's just a stitch that I use. You can use anything that you like to sew it up there, as long as you're happy with it. So a whip stitch would be, you go into your work like this, so get the corner nice and tight there, and then you push your needle in diagonally like this. So you put it in a diagonal fashion there, pull through, and then you go back over your piece and into the next stitch diagonally like that. It gives a really nice look across there. You can see the stitches together there, it looks like part of the piece. So that's how I like to do it, but of course sew it together any way that you like to. And once we've sewn the hood together and turned everything right way out, we can begin just doing our edging, and then placing your buttons. So with the edging, there's quite a bit of room between the stitches, so you could use those for buttonholes, or you could just skip a few stitches as you're going along. I'll show you in a minute how to do that. But we're nearly finished. So once I've sewn this all the way along, I'll turn everything the right way out, and then I'll begin in the bottom corner, one of my sides, and we just do the edging all the way up the side, around the hood, and down the other side. We don't go along the bottom because it's nice and neat and straight there. So I've finished my hood now, and I'm just going to turn it inside out. There you go, looks great along the top there. Just move it about a bit, it's absolutely great. So then I've turned my sleeves inside out, everything's looking good. Sorry, my dog's just having a bit of a drink behind. Okay, so, I mean, it's lovely. I love it. I love the colours. I love how it's sort of bohemian. It's got a bit of a country feel to it, a bit rustic. These yarns are great to use. I mean, it's sort of anything that you make with them comes out looking really professional, really, and just something you'd want to wear. This has got such a nice stretch to it as well. It's really soft and cosy. So we're going to move on to the edging now. It doesn't take very long. I will start on the left lapel corner there, and I'll do my row of front post and back post half double crochet all the way around the hood edge there, all the way around the right lapel to the bottom, and then up again. I'll do 4 rows from on the second row. I'll do 2 rows, and then on the third row I will leave some spaces for some buttons. Like I say, you don't have to if you're happy to just use the gaps in the, you'll get quite big spaces in between there, depends what size button you're going to use. So I usually, if I count these rows here, as you can see where the edges are, if you can see that there, you can see where the stitch rows are, there's usually 2 there. So I place 4 buttons, so depending on where you want them, you know, space them out evenly, the buttonholes. So you'll just go along and you'll just skip 1 stitch and continue on round, and then you'll have a nice hole there ready for your buttons. Okay, so I've done my edging. Everything's nice and neat. What I've done is sewn on my buttons as well. So you'll see in the pattern, I'll give you instructions for this, but what I did was I evenly half double crocheted all the way around the hood, all the way around the other edge, and then the next row I did my front post and back post half double crochets all the way around, and then in the next row where you want your buttons to go, so it depends on the size of your buttons. I've done a chain 2, so if you can see here, I've done my counted up where I want my button there, and I've missed a back post double crochet, half double crochet, and I've chained 2, and then I've just completed the rest of the row same. And then when I get to the next space I want it, I missed either a front or back half double crochet, and I've chained 2 again, so that fits nicely around my buttons there, and my jacket is complete. It's lovely, it's ready to go. This is going to keep someone nice and cozy this winter. And that's the tutorial. So if you've got any questions, or if you'd like to know anything else, we'll have a lot of these on there. If there's anything else you'd like to learn, or if there's anything you'd like me to tell you about, or anything you'd like me to make and make a pattern for, then let me know. You can find any of my patterns, do a lot of free patterns in the link below to my page. And that's it. Thanks for joining me. Hope you love your project.